Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about all the sports, all of them, mainly football.
Mainly.
It's probably going to be all football.
Yeah.
We'll mention that
Not a ton of news this week, though.
Happening.
Not a ton. But we got some things to talk about, like Sam's daily or weekly dose of Chiefs talk, mainly because we got to talk about McColl going to the Jets.
He did for like nothing. The Jets were like
of Zoom is officially all gone.
All gone.
Not a single receiver left from that first Super Bowl.
No.
Although, were there really any other ones other than Hardman and Tyreek? Like
Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy. Come on, man.
Marcus Robinson had
like
some really big games in that.
D-Rob was there for a long time. D-Rob was there for a long time.
He caught touchdown number 50 of that year.
You gotta run faster than a 4.5 to be in the Legion of Zoom.
They all did.
Did they?
Yeah, they were all pretty
That's
fast.
why they called themselves Legion of Zoom. They all ran sub 4.5.
Yeah, don't be,
Okay.
okay.
I'll
Why are we
give it to
hating?
'em.
Why are we hating? Why are we hating?
They're not Chiefs anymore. I can hate.
No, but that's the thing. Come on, man. You know they help it. That's get out of here, Tim.
I can
Get
hate
out
them.
here with that shit. Get out here with the
I mean,
hate.
look, I got Pacheco on the wall now, so
that one I understand a little bit.
Oh, that's
No.
fine.
Come on, like I love Frank Clark. Are you gonna hate on Frank Clark because he's gone now? No. Okay. Like Juju, I kind of get a little
next
bit
year,
because he's annoying,
once the
but I do
season starts,
appreciate
I will
Juju.
start hating on Frank Clark because he's not cheap. But the season hasn't started yet.
Always appreciate.
Has Frank Clark been signed yet?
Always appreciate him.
Not that I've seen.
Well, come on back, buddy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Take
I'm
a small
hoping-
deal.
Just be like, shit, you know what? I might as well, if I'm gonna get paid that little anyways, I might as well play where I love.
Well, the pocket's really tightened up with the owners this year compared to last.
That's true.
Ooh, yeah, we could get into that, right? Like,
We've got nobody's getting the money that they thought they were going to get in free agency.
no, not really. Like,
Not
there's
even
no,
the guys we thought were going to get paid.
there's
like,
not really a market that exploded. Like, the O-line, right? Like the tackles, kind of, because you have like Tunzels. Laramie Tunzel just kind of just had the biggest one, and before that, Orlando Brown Jr. had the most guaranteed, right, in a O-lineman contract.
yeah,
And then you
there's
had ours with
math in that contract.
do what?
So there's a little bit of voodoo math in that contract.
Anyways, we've seen it a little bit with linemen, but it hasn't like gotten wild like with wide receivers last year, where just like Tyreek and Devontae Adams contracts just blew up the fucking market, and Christian Kirk, like wide receivers getting fucking insane deals last year. And yeah, we're not seeing that so much. And yeah, I think it has tightened up a little, even though the salary cap does go up every year. But
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that the receivers are getting paid so little.
yeah, and I think that is also just because you don't really have a Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams this year.
Yeah, there's really not a clear number one on the market other than
Yeah, there wasn't a huge guy out, a big guy out there. There are some guys up for like obviously D-Hop with a trade, but even D-Hop, he's older, he's not.
They're asking for a 2 and a 3 for him, and as it's being reported, nobody's interested anymore.
Yeah, and I just read earlier today too that they're not
That's-
going to come down on that price because the market has nobody in it.
I saw that it's more realistic that they give
I
what
think-
Brandon Cooks got.
Yeah,
That's a
I
more
think if
realistic option.
anybody's
5 and 6, wasn't it? Yeah.
if anyone's willing to give them a 2, I bet they move on at draft day, like at draft time, even
can
if
see it
nobody's
draft.
willing to give them a 3. But I bet if a team is also willing to give them like maybe 2 3s instead of a 2 and a 3, they may also take that come draft day just because, like, dude, a 2 and a 3 for D Hop, I guess, but
Well, teams might be a little more willing to make that trade after the draft too. When they can push those picks off to next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to fuck over next year's draft.
Yeah.
I want to do it. No. This year's in like a month. I don't want to fuck it. Hell no.
Got a draft board.
Well, yeah, I got to try. Come on.
Which I kind of think that's what's happening with Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson.
I mean, it could be, dude. I mean, Lamar,
what a massive.
It's so interesting, like the deadlines that we have for Lamar and what that means for the trade and for each team, right? Because like everybody's like the Packers need to get it done by the draft, and you're like, they do if they feel like they have to have those picks for this year, which
I know the Packers are under no pressure to get this done.
I know that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like if you're the Packers, like it's not like you don't have a first round pick already this year. You've got one. You know what I mean? Like if those picks come next year, that's even better because you've got a whole year to see what you've got in your young quarterback to see if he is. You're the Bears of last year. You're the Bears of last season. That's where you're going to be this season. The wins and losses do not matter. It is our quarterback our future, right? Is Jordan Love going to be our guy going forward? Can we build around him? We can. Awesome. Guess what? We've got fucking draft picks to do that with now, like first rounders. Like,
yeah.
And
so
teams with multiple first round picks are always somebody who gets called. They get phone calls about, do you want to move up? Do you want to move back on one of those picks? And you
right.
can,
yeah,
Eagles did that.
The flexibility that it gives you, yes, is insane. So yeah, I don't think that they have to, necessarily get done. Then there's the June 1, where I think if they trade him post June 1, it like saves the Packers money too. So like they may just end up waiting till after then to do it if they get past the draft day.
Which you see a lot of times, like roster cuts and stuff like that. They'll post date it.
Yeah.
Like somebody can do that with the trade, just get it done, but post June 1st or whatever.
That's true.
But I mean, add in the fact, like the sweet irony of now Aaron Rodgers needs the Packers to hurry up. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's just
the Packers. I mean, yeah, if you're the Packers,
I cut my 4-day retreat short for them.
No,
it was for them. It wasn't because I got bored.
Like all the screwing around. Oh, am I going to retire the last couple seasons? And
you're relishing in this shit.
Oh, I don't know if I want to be here forever.
It is pretty good. My kid drew
all that bullshit over the years, and now
my kid drew.
The Packers can fucking back.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah. I don't. So I mean, I also don't like. I don't know. I don't feel that bad for the Packers because again, Packers, you kind of put yourself into this situation the whole time. Like the Packers were dumb fucks as well. I don't.
You can go back.
Yeah, I mean they certainly had their sins in this.
You know, go back at their past. I want to say 12 first round picks. And
dude, when you get a game away from like a Super Bowl, and you're like, and you already have a Hall of Fame quarterback who, maybe like in the last few years of his career, 4 or 5, but like you're right there, and you're like, let's draft the next guy, right? Let's use our first round pick to like help us out 3 years down the road, and not next year and get us over the hump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so. I don't know. And then you gave Aaron Rodgers the giant contract. You could have just traded his ass. You could have just traded him last year. And you gotten like 3 first round picks. Easy for him. Like so yeah. But hey, it's fun. I do love the drama. I love the back and forth with it. I love the who's got more leverage, and like we've never seen a trade like this where the whole like we knew exactly what was happening. We knew why it was kind of, or not, we don't know why it's getting dragged out, but we know that it's happening and getting dragged out for some reason. We haven't been like a trade that we knew what was happening. You know what I mean? Like every trade is like speculation. You're like, well, they've been, and then Aaron Rodgers opened his mouth and gave us this beautiful, beautiful like gift. I felt drama. I'm like, no, it's happening. It's absolutely happening. It's just now we know these teams are negotiating back and forth.
This is
and going at it.
obviously a
I don't.
bigger. This is bigger than the decision when LeBron did it, right? Like this is backfired in a way funnier way than
of how long it's dragged out. Like it's great, man.
I think this is going to be messy for the next 10 years.
And it couldn't have happened to a better person.
Like he and the organization are
Depends.
talking shit on each other to the end of time.
It depends on how it works out, I guess, for either one of them.
I think they're both just wait till the deal's done. Like one, and it's probably going to be Aaron Rodgers, but somebody's going to fly off at the mouth about the other.
Yeah, you feel like eventually maybe, hopefully.
I think there's a lot of bad feelings between the two of them.
Yeah, but I don't think we get that for a while necessarily. I think like at first it could just be.
Oh, it's just going to be Aaron Rodgers' passive aggressive comments.
Definitely that for sure. We know that's going to happen.
100% happen.
Every week that already is that's already happened, and he's not been traded yet.
I think we could see it. I think we could see, like Sneaky said, we could see this dude just shit all over him. We could see that, pull the, they just, for the past 4 years, I felt like I wasn't wanted and I had to stray.
That's 100% coming.
Replacement because of the situation they put me in. I can't believe they would do that to me. Like, they've never had a history of doing that before to Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Right. Well,
cool that it happened.
He did mention that the franchise has, right? He specifically mention the franchise has had a history with players and
he might have
doing it too well. I don't know. Anyway, he was like, he did say, I'm arguably like the best player the franchise has ever had, and this is how they're gonna do me. Was his point? You're like, well, I get it's not a very humble thing to say, but I guess it's not a lie. You could be. I don't know.
Are you talking about the greatest player?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
I mean, you've got Bart Starr and then Brett Favre to compete with. And I think he's better than Brett Favre just because he's got more control and like
Brett Favre was literally just like, fuck it.
Yeah, so
somebody's gonna catch it. Doesn't have to be my team.
But Bart Starr has like a pretty big legacy and 2 Super Bowls too, right?
Yeah, but it's like Len Dawson. Like nobody alive saw him play.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't think he had 4 MVPs as well or anything like that. But he also won like a bunch of NFL. Like Bart Starr probably would have had more Super Bowls had there been Super Bowls like earlier in his career. Because he was winning NFL championships before there were Super Bowls. So, like, he definitely would have had more appearances anyways.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So, speaking of wide receivers, I forgot about this, but Shark got taken today.
Oh, yeah, DJ.
Yeah. Where did he go? Like the Panthers? Panthers, yeah.
$5 million guaranteed. Another small sign-on bonus. And then there's like 4 years of his deal are void to keep salary bonus down.
Man, they're really trying to build down there.
I'd say they're doing some smart things there. I like it.
That is like I'm looking at that like the Chiefs didn't want to like. It didn't seem like it's like I know we don't have a ton of cap space right now, but like.
Hey. Like I said, man, this is like all this should excite you. The fact that we're not biting on DeAndre, we didn't re-sign Mecole. All these tiny little moves we could have made.
Odell, they moved.
Absolutely could have made.
Orlando, they moved on quick.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're at the top. When you're at the top, everybody else is out there making these moves to try to catch you. You're able to sit there and play. They got their plan. They're going to draft.
No offense, but like the Mecole Hardmans of the world are not going to keep us on top.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I told P before you guys got on that like I'm not really all that worried. Like we went into this season like, oh, the Chiefs don't have a wide receiver core. Look what we did.
Yeah.
And then like at this point we have to give all of our trust to Veach.
What did Nick,
shit he's done?
What did Nick Wright say about it? He's like, we'll just replay clips of last offseason. If people are like, oh, the Chiefs don't have wide receivers, what are they gonna do?
Right.
Right.
The Bucs draft hasn't even happened yet.
we did have at least I feel like we haven't replaced the Juju part yet. Like I feel like that part hasn't, like last year I felt at least okay because with Juju and MVS we at least got like, here's our deep threat, here's our possession guy.
But maybe it's Sky Moore. Maybe Sky Moore just
I know that's what
that
I know that's what a lot of people want to happen, but
he took big steps at the end of the year to
Justin Ross
get up there.
Justin Ross could be
I
good.
thought, I agree with Sneaky there though. I think he's got a long way to go.
I would just, it would be nice to have like a nice possession receiver. I guess we saw, I mean, we got Kels, so we always got that, but you know, it's just nice to have a reliable guy who can.
What was that?
Justin Ross is going to have a big like OTAs and camp and everything.
I want a guy that can. I want a guy that can run a route and catch a ball consistently. Yeah. That's what I'd like. I would just like a guy that can run around.
We still got a draft process.
The Chiefs are really banking on the health of Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
At this point, definitely, yeah.
Which if he can stay healthy and step into one of those roles, then
wide receiver #1 right now. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Again, what are we gonna do at wide receiver? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right now, my only thing is we just have 3 guys that seem the exact same.
Yeah.
You know, just from what we've seen, like
Tony, MVS,
and Sky
Moore,
they all seem to kind of play to the same strengths.
They're all Andy Reid type receiver.
Yeah. I mean, we do.
MVS is a little bigger, right? He's like 6'1" or something.
Shit, 6'1" is not big for a receiver.
It's big for Andy Reid wide receiver. It's not short. It's not short.
On the taller side for Andy Reid.
I think 6'1" is right. It's either 6 or 6'1".
Yeah, that's not big.
I mean, you know.
I know for Andy it is. I'm like, oh god.
6'4".
Okay.
I'm more 6'4".
6'4", 201. He's skinny.
For MVS.
Mm-hmm. At least that's what the quick Googling says.
Okay.
So,
but I mean, yeah, he's
height 6'4", weight 201. So, you know, because he is a guy who can go up and, you know, get it a little, right? He's more of a deep threat, I think, than Sky Moore, because Sky Moore didn't really show us that he could burn dudes too much. He was like, I can catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and you're like, that's fucking great, but we're going to need you to run like 10, 15 yards downfield, maybe.
And every time he did, it got picked. Every time.
Yeah, I didn't. So.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, he could be that guy that kind of fills that Juju role because we just don't really know as much. We haven't seen his full route tree, but maybe he is that underneath type guy, 10 first down target.
Yeah, I mean, he's our McCole Hardman replacement. You know, except for McCole could at least go burn it downfield, every now and again.
This guy's got speed.
We've been talking about the Chiefs some more. And really what we were here to talk about was we were shitting on the Packers and Jets situation.
Yeah, we shit on that a little bit. We can shit on the Baltimore and Lamar.
The Baltimore and Lamar situation. Yeah, exactly. Ken Francis. If you hear from that man, you're an NFL team. Just hang up. Turn around. Don't you do it. Bad.
Have you ever seen somebody fumble the bag this hard? As Lamar Jackson has.
I mean, we've seen NBA style. We've seen this shit happen on the regular, like Victor Oladipo, and
okay, come on, man.
Most recently, Dennis Schroeder for the Lakers, who turned down like 119 million just to come back for like 1.9.
Did you see?
But no, football wise, this one might be the absolute.
Art Modell had an interview this week, right, where he said we're waiting to see what the market's going to do. If the market is going to make a guaranteed contract like thing or not. And you're like, well, you are one of the people who can decide that. But since you are saying that you're waiting, you're essentially you are admitting to, just sitting back and being like, anybody want to make this decision? Anybody want to give out that guaranteed contract? Anyone at all?
Yeah.
And so far, no one has flinched.
Yeah, and man, I keep going back and forth and thinking that somebody's going to come in after the draft with an offer.
It could be after the draft.
Or that nobody makes an offer and he gets the $32 million cap or
because they got to pay him. They got to pay him more, right? This year, I mean, because this is the second year that they tagged him.
Last
No,
year was the 5th-year option.
oh, last year was his option. Okay,
yeah, this will be a 32 million, I think.
all right.
32.
Well, I mean, it's not
32.5.
There's
it's
no
not
fucking
the.
way he's playing for that much money.
Fuck no, I'm not playing for less than Daniel Jones if I have an MVP. I don't care what people around the league think of me.
It's and it's
So it's really a situation where either somebody comes in and offers him a contract or he doesn't play next year.
maybe he might sit, but that sitting's not gonna do anything for him.
It's not going to help, but I mean,
help anything.
It'll get him out of the franchise because right now, also you have to think about those deals might be smaller because of the 2 first-round picks that are attached. You have a guaranteed asking price of 2 first-round picks when they know, okay, if he has to play on the franchise tag, like Sneaky's saying, either he's going to show up for half of the season just so he can get his occurred year, or he's going to sit out the whole season and then re-enter the pool next year where they won't put the franchise tag on him and there won't be there won't be this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other part of this is I think a lot of teams know that anything short of 200 million guaranteed, and the Ravens are just going to match it anyway.
Yeah. You could also just run the course of waiting until this period passes where he signs a franchise tag and then try to trade for him with the hopes of seeing him for a year and then you get to control how that's done. That way, because it doesn't feel like either way he's long for Baltimore.
No, I can't imagine them going on after this.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see him in purple ever again.
Yeah,
it sucks with the situation because you've got Richard Sherman wanting to blame Patrick Mahomes and
Josh Allen
for not taking like giant guaranteed deals, even though they took some big old contracts.
And without talking about like this dude's trying to negotiate a 9-figure deal.
I mean,
in the NFL while playing.
Well, yeah, it's Laramie Tunsil, like,
and while having no experience doing anything like this.
I mean, Laramie Tunsil worked out his contract, and it was the biggest one in history for an O lineman. So, like, I just did it. So, I get it though. It's tough because you're trying to like set a new precedent, not just like set a new market stand, like not just like
do it at the most expensive position to do it.
And because what did Kyler get guaranteed, like 185 or something, like some ridiculous shit. So yeah, 200 at least. And Kyler Murray ain't done shit. Kyler Murray
got like 150, but it's kind of incentive based and
dude, like
it was guaranteed with quotation marks around it.
They retracted a lot of those, I thought, because they did have the asterisks on there for film study and all that, but then I think they took those
out. Took that out.
It got leaked that those were in there.
Because of the whole thing that it, let's see, 160 guaranteed. 230 mil with 160 guaranteed. So yeah, I mean, Lamar, I'd love for him to get that, fully guaranteed 235, 236, a mil more than Deshaun.
When Pat took his deal, it made him the highest paid quarterback.
It did. Yeah. So it's weird to blame Pat at that time when you're like, okay, I know Kirk Cousins got a fully guaranteed one, but his was not like it was like a 3-year deal for like 84 mil or something. You know what I mean? It was not a huge.
And why are we going to blame Patrick Mahomes for negotiating a contract with 2 years remaining on his current deal,
and
getting a deal that set him up for 10 years after his deal. It was an extension.
after that rookie, yeah, it was
So
extension.
he is set for the next 10 years in a profession
Well,
where you may not. We've seen the fluctuation, like with Lamar.
He also saw like a much different situation than with Lamar, because he also was coming off a Super Bowl win, like his first Super Bowl victory, and he saw the success and the trajectory his career was taking with this team. And like he looked at Brady as well and said, well, that dude was never the highest paid, and yeah, I'm going to take this deal that is huge in the record breaking now, but it will be team friendly later on. It's not like Mahomes didn't know that this would be a team friendly deal later on. It's not, he wasn't fucking dumb. Like
Lamar should have started negotiating after he won his MVP.
It's the one thing that I've always screamed about with players is that they never, like, so many of them don't seem to understand that you can leverage winning into dollars.
Yeah, because now he's set up for life with a legacy. You build a legacy, you can.
That's exactly it.
You're going to be making money on it for your entire life.
No, yeah,
and that's what he's already done. With Lamar, though, the Ravens haven't exactly given him the same support system that I feel like Kansas City did for Patrick Mahomes. Dude, what? Let's take away.
They custom built an offense to a point, like
kinda. They did custom build an offense.
Whole team.
They changed their offense for him, but I mean, and they got hurt a lot too.
Their offense was stagnant and doing nothing before him. They just
they had fucking Joe Flacco, you did pay
out of it, but I mean, really, they didn't build around Lamar successfully. They didn't give him a solid deep threat.
They can never have a healthy running back around the dude. So I don't know, man.
Their training staff was terrible.
Was terrible, yeah, man. And yeah, your wide receivers, you just didn't give him. You didn't give him. He doesn't really. What was his best weapon? Is probably Mark Andrews, which is very good tight end, but that's like his only notable one that he's maybe ever had around him.
Demarcus Robinson was their number one receiver last year. Demarcus Robinson.
And when Pat got to start out, we had Tyreek Hill, and we brought in Sammy Watkins, who at that time was a legit number 2 wide receiver for us. Yeah. He was an actual number 2.
That was a huge signing at the time.
Yeah, and it paid the fuck off in the Super Bowl when he burnt Richard Sherman, Sammy. Yeah. So you know what I mean? I feel like the Chiefs. I feel like the relationship that the Chiefs built with Mahomes and that we have, and especially is much better than what the Ravens did with Lamar. This isn't all on Lamar necessarily. I feel like when a dude, I don't know, man. If Lamar really wanted to be there, and if you guys had given him all the things that he wanted, if he was really, he would have signed with you.
Yeah,
he would have gotten something figured out.
I think it helps or hurts their relationship that he's his own agent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's helping that he's his own agent. To be
honest,
it's
not like
it can't possibly help, because all those criticisms that you're going to hear, when they sit down and negotiate contracts, it gets it rightfully gets pretty nasty.
Yeah, it does.
The team will start pointing out where the shortcomings are in this player to just
and if you have an agent,
you're saying that directly to Lamar,
right?
And you can't there's no way that doesn't hurt feelings.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I
don't see how you do the player agent thing.
The agent can is the buffer between for that shit.
Yeah. Because you're
well, and then it looks weird too, because you're going at bat for yourself.
Someone's performance at their job and deciding how much money they're gonna get paid. So yes, it's gonna be very emotional.
We've seen a bunch of dudes without agents get deals done, right? Robert Quinn got his done, and
could they have gotten better with a skilled negotiator in the room?
I don't know.
These guys.
Uncle got a pretty damn good contract. I don't know, man. They did all right. Maybe. Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe the market, like we've mentioned, picks up after the draft happens with those picks getting to be moved to another
to
year in
the
the
next
future.
year.
So, but yeah, I mean, do we think that could happen with Hopkins as well? I mean,
Yeah,
possibly.
he
like a
could
2 and a
definitely
3 is a
be-
lot for this year, but I mean, maybe if you're like, okay, if we can get him and then pay
He
for
could
him
be
next
a
year.
a draft day decision or post draft. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I just
At this point, anyone can.
like the Cardinals just don't seem too super eager to come off of him. Like they have to know they're not going to get a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
Well, and they're not. I don't think they're in any rush to do it as well. I wouldn't be, because this year doesn't mean jack shit for you if you're the Cardinals side. Like, and they know that too, right? Because
Yeah,
your
that's a higher
quarterback's going to be
salary.
hurt for most of the year, at least like half, right? This year's not really about that. I guess it's kind of seeing what you have elsewhere. So like, if you got to hold on to D Hop till somebody wants to give you those picks, go for it. Maybe he gets like, maybe when he starts the season out and he's playing really well, and like his price does go up because he's out there getting 100 yards and 10 catches every game or some shit.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're hoping for. Maybe D Hop will gladly go out and try to do that to get traded, right? To be like, I am worth a 2 and a 3.
I don't know.
And when trade deadline comes around, the Cardinals are like 0 and 4, 0 and 5 or whatever, 0 and 6. I don't know, whenever trade deadline is.
Yeah, I know
Like
we're trying
October,
to get
early November.
further in the year, but
And
I
Cody
almost
or
think
Sky are hurt.
I think you'll see Odell move to his new team before DeAndre does.
man,
Yeah,
I
well, just
expected
because
it.
they don't have to trade, right? Like Odell's
He's a
contract
free
is
agent, but I mean,
he's a
he
free
held that
agent.
private
So.
workout, and we heard nothing about team interest coming out of it. Like I haven't heard anything about teams being excited after seeing the workout.
Yeah, and I feel like after Odell, he probably like was given, each team that saw him maybe gave him an offer, and he had some offers, and I don't know if he was trying to like use those to negotiate against one another, but I think we would have had something by now.
Yeah,
that workout. You know what I mean? Like if there was really
a lot of interest in
a
Odell.
lot of interest, I think we would have seen something happen by now, or else like maybe teams didn't give him good offer, or, I don't know, man.
I think it's just gonna be another one of those things that nothing happens till after the draft.
Yeah. Aging and injured wide receivers, like, yeah, man, they're gonna have to wait their turn. Sucks, but
who's even further down the barrel than that? Aging, injured, high-priced running backs.
yeah. Yep. Nobody's trading for Derrick Henry, is that what you're saying?
Dude, nobody's gonna trade for Derrick Henry.
Dude, nobody's even really trying to sign Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott has his
He's
team.
gonna
His team's narrowed down to 3, and it's like Zach Taylor said, it sounds like a wish list more than it is. It's his wish list, not teams that are calling him.
Yeah, it's yeah. Which team? These are the teams that I might take the vet men from.
Bengals coach said that.
He didn't say those words, no, but it was what he said. He's like, we're happy with the guys we have, and he's like, sometimes you'll hear rumors that just make you laugh because they've never happened. Those conversations have never happened.
We don't want you.
Something more along those lines, but you get you're like that.
We do not, man. Yeah, because
probably
even if you were interested in a player, usually the head coach would be a little nicer than that. It would be like, well, we've he's a great player, and of course we're gonna show our interest in guys like that and see what what's going on there. But no, he was just straight like, nah, we like the guys we get.
Like they've been a little uneasy, like unhappy with how free agency's gone for them. I mean, they got Orlando Brown, but
they're not ecstatic about that.
No, well, they were, but then like they were for about a week, and then everybody telling them that Orlando Brown actually kind of sucks is getting to them now.
That, and they lost both starting.
They're kind of panicky about it, and they have no tight end, and all the big name tight ends keep going.
They did lose their tight end and both their safeties.
Yeah, the safeties is losing those two. That's big.
Yeah, and they signed like they signed some guy from the Rams who's not really a big deal. Huh?
Is it Rap?
Yeah, I think so.
I wanted to say. So they got
Yeah,
him.
their fandom is a little bit panicky over there now. Just because they like free agency hasn't
Yeah,
panned
I mean,
out the way they thought.
It'll be all
with
right.
the draft.
You know what? I would tell Bengals fans that I think they can relax. I think that their team is actually they draft well. So I would think that
Yeah, I
a
mean,
team
your
like the
receivers,
Bills, I'd be more worried about if with
um,
you know,
quarterback and
Mhm.
receivers are going to win that division on their own.
yeah. You don't have to worry. Kenny Pickett's not going to come out there and torch you this year.
Yeah, Lamar's leaving.
Lamar's leaving. Deshaun Watson didn't look great last year, but we'll see how he
Yeah.
looks now
Is there
getting to actually practice and shit.
does anyone think the Bengals won't win that division next year?
I think it's easy division win.
I
I guess the Browns are a dark
like-
horse.
Browns have been
Like-
quietly kind of building. Like if Deshaun Watson is good this year, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah, the thing that I've noticed is they keep striking out on that number 2 receiver behind Amari Cooper.
There's that.
Well,
They've been trying to make. They got Elijah Moore. I like the Elijah Moore pickup.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore. So
They still have Peoples Jones, who's
I don't know.
nice.
Yeah, People's
Chubb.
Jones.
So
Yeah.
they got some depth. I mean, they're intriguing to see. I mean, because they don't pick until the second round.
They've got a good receiving core on paper. They've got a very good receiving core.
Yeah,
on
I
paper.
mean,
like
Amari Cooper had a monster of a year, but
you don't have Kareem Hunt, but you still have Chubb, so you're not like
yeah,
terrible
I
in the
mean,
back.
Kareem didn't do much for him last year, and I still think they have
Well, has Kareem
Ernest.
signed anywhere? Is he
What's
still
that? No,
Kareem still out there?
none of the running backs have gone anywhere. I haven't seen like besides Singletary and
They're all going to be
Stevens.
Dude, they're all going to be after the draft.
Yeah, the running backs are
all of them because
So-
we saw, dude. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Chiefs found Pacheco in the 7th."
Nobody's getting money. Sorry, Tim. What were you wanting to say, buddy?
So speaking of running backs, did you guys see that the Michigan running back stayed for another year because he's slated to make $1 million, and they think that this might start something with running backs because running backs, when they come into the league, they get paid pretty shitty.
Yeah, that's smart.
And so they think a lot of like big name college running backs will stay in the league longer now because
running back in college
is a big thing.
It's
huge thing.
Still a very big deal.
Like, and that's $1 million. They're saying it's going to be over $1 million. He's going to make over $1 million next year. And I think he was redshirted for a year, so he technically could even go back another year.
Could you imagine guys staying in college for more money?
Yeah, and he actually already graduated. Like he has his diploma.
So he's just playing free
has
football.
to. I think I heard they were talking about it on Laszlo, on the Church of Laszlo.
Probably.
And yeah, he'll have to. They believe that he'll have to still like further his education, but like now that he's like coaches aren't going to be on his ass. He's already graduated.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner went to the Seahawks.
He came back.
He went on
1 year deal.
Yeah. I like it.
That's cool.
Yeah. They mended that thing up pretty quickly. And
I get it. He's, older and I guess the linebacker market wasn't like exploding this year.
No, and he fills a position of need for them. They needed a linebacker. They never really filled that void after he left.
Goes back home.
He didn't have a terrible year.
The Rams weren't what he expected them to be, and
he's like, well, I could have done this. I would have had a better time in Seattle.
That's the danger of fucking ring hopping, ring chasing in the NFL. I mean, in the NBA, in other sports, like the NBA, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and you're probably gonna make a deep run. Like it's barring catastrophe,
unless you're Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, well, there's a catalyst on that, on all of his.
But I get it. He did the one thing with LeBron. That's never going to happen again, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
He started trying to be the guy that got everybody the rings whenever he was it was LeBron.
You're never that guy.
Yeah, that dude was LeBron. Yeah, but NFL, yeah, I mean, any year that's why you don't see a lot of dynasties. Like NBA, you see a lot more true dynasties than in the NFL.
I guess so. Yeah.
You know, I mean, in the NFL, if you get back to backs, like that's
Insane.
That's
Right.
fucking insane. Like,
yeah, the best the teams ever did.
Because of how violent the game is with all the injuries that this sport has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so unpredictable.
Yeah. We saw it happen when we tried
like,
to get back to backs.
It takes like you have to put together the right 22 guys, not just the right 10 guys.
I agree. I mean, an NBA roster, you're suiting up, I think, 13 per game. And in the NFL, I mean, you're starting 11 on each side.
How many of those guys are getting minutes?
Exactly. I'm agreeing. I mean, but you just typically in the regular season you're probably playing 10, and then once you get to the playoffs, you shrink your bench to where you're probably running 8 players in the playoffs, 3 guys off the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I mean, that's why NBA players make so much, because there's less on the roster, and then the league makes money. There's less people to pay, so they get to eat more.
A lot less people to pay.
Yeah.
A lot less.
No, but the NFL, yeah, it's just a different beast because it's such
53-man roster.
Yeah, where any given play could be that person's last of the season.
Yeah, contracts aren't guaranteed, and it's a much different landscape. Anything happening in the NBA? Do we have anything written down?
LeBron,
coming back.
LeBron's back.
LeBron come back.
You know,
that's nice.
Make a playoff push. There's a battle going on for that. Play.
They're sitting in a playing spot, right?
They are. They're only like 2 games back right now from the 6th seed, from getting out of the play-in. You know.
Okay.
So the Warriors are at 6. I mean,
yeah. Who in the West? It's looking like the Suns, right, are still doing well. Are they doing well?
I haven't really seen the extent of KD. Because the Suns right now are sitting at 4th. You have the Nuggets, of course, are at 1 because it's the regular season, so they're going to play well. The Grizzlies are at 2. The Sacramento Kings are the 3 seed.
Wow.
Like, let that
City Kings.
Who?
The Kings. Hey, I'll still cheer for you. Go Kings. I mean,
and then the Suns.
You left us.
And Warriors.
But I understand it's not your fault.
Come back.
The play-in would be the Timberwolves, Pelicans, Lakers, and Thunder. The Mavericks are sitting on the outside right now of the play.
The Mavericks are sitting on the outside. I didn't realize. I knew they were doing bad. They weren't doing great with Kyrie coming in, but I didn't realize. I know they have a losing record with him and Luka playing together, even since he's been there, and
just keeps adding to that reputation, doesn't he?
I mean, he came out as these things take time to gel and stuff like that. You're like, dude, this is getting, playoffs start in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. They're not far out, man. You got 2 weeks.
I think are any of these top level European guys going to end up on teams together?
They're not the type that typically, go out and ring hop like that. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's not gonna probably ever leave Milwaukee.
Yeah, not at this point.
They'll have to send him out kicking and screaming because
I don't know why he would.
Anything other than there, and he loves it in Milwaukee.
Yeah, you want to ring with him, so you're probably staying there.
Want to ring there, but more important to him, they helped him bring his family over here and helped him, So I mean, you get a lot of that, player like Joel Embiid, who he played college over here. Maybe you see and with the Sixers, but I feel like you see more. Those guys typically have more loyalty towards the team and city that they're in.
Yeah, look at Dirk. Dirk stayed in Dallas for
Ginobili
his whole career.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so but I mean, other guys,
have that old
guys
school
could go to them. Guys could go to them, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
So
that's the NBA.
On what's going on with
that's the NBA.
Hey,
we will cut out most of that because it's just.
I want to backtrack for 1 second.
Those guys.
Because I meant to bring this up earlier when we talked about Mercole.
Yeah.
So I saw this tweet earlier, and somebody quote tweeted something that Merkel said today. And I'm not doing this to badmouth Merkel. I like Merkel. But he said, or Mikkel, sorry. I don't know why I'm adding an R in there.
I didn't know if you were just trolling or what.
No, I'm not.
Mikkel.
But he said, LOL, I came into the league behind Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Sammy Watkins, and people thought I was supposed to become a number 1 wide receiver, crying, laughing emoji. And then somebody quote tweeted that and said, this right here is why I haven't liked Mikkel since season 1. I want guys with Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and I can't even say his name right now.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
St. Brown mentality, not someone who takes the easy excuse as to why he isn't as good as what he should have been. And then somebody under that, this was the part that I liked the most. They were like, look at Pacheco. That dude came in and said, I'm going to take a grown man's job.
Yep.
Like, that's the mentality you have to have coming into
the yeah, dude. And like, dude, if you're that
I mean,
good, if you're that good, people are going to see it. Look at the
right.
or the Bengals, right? They've got 3 dudes who have been playing like number 1 wide receiver. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Mikkel. It don't matter what everybody else is doing around. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
That wasn't a good thing for him to say.
Like, yeah, you may not ever pass Tyreek Hill, but play like you're trying to, you know, and come out with that mentality.
But they expected me to be better than Sammy Watkins. Like, yes,
yes,
yes, we kind of did. Like, no offense to Sammy, but he was never better than like a number 2 guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah, what Sammy might have had
3 rings though.
1 or 2 good like seasons where he played at a number 1 level when he was with the Bills.
He was just injury plagued, man.
Yeah, that was his downfall.
But like,
and overhyped coming out of college by a bunch.
Sorry, I meant to bring that up earlier and I completely forgot that. Sammy.
So good because we would have forgotten to talk about Derek Wolfe microdosing Adderall NFL games for seasons.
Dude, microdosing on mushrooms, you said, right?
This on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Shrooms and Adderall.
And then he would piss himself off so he could enter rage mode.
I don't know about the Adderall part. The mushrooms, whatever.
I mean, it's just funny. I'm like Josh Gordon.
I can't remember who it was, but the dude who used to have the trainer slap him in the face to get jacked up.
Oh, who was? You're right, man.
I mean, Baker headbutts fucking dudes with helmets without his.
So did Cushing.
What you got to do?
There was some good NFL films footage. I can't remember who it was, but he's in the locker room and he has this tiny little white towel boy slapping him like fucking full on in the face to get him worked up.
It's man, whatever. I get it. Like sometimes these guys are going out there trying to destroy one another. Basically, got to get yourself into a certain mindset.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude. To be microdosing and on Adderall and shrooms, what a combination.
It reminds me of the pitcher. I don't remember the pitcher, but the one that took acid.
Oh yeah.
What's his face?
Doc. God, why can't I think of it?
And he threw what?
Doc Ellis.
Yeah, and he threw a no-hitter, I think.
He threw a no-hitter.
Remember half the game.
He walked like 9 batters too. He at one point had like the bases were loaded at one point from him like walking and hitting guys, but he got out of it and he threw a no-hitter on acid. It's a great documentary.
Yeah.
Your move, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
your ayahuasca time.
Yeah. So yeah, one last thing is did we talk about the rules?
No.
Yeah. So the
NFL rules.
It seems like they're going to be passing the touchback rule where it'll move to the 25-yard line for punts, like it does for kickoffs. And on the big shock was the fair catches on a kickoff would result at the 25-yard line, and this is all to lower the risk of injury.
Right. They've been trying to take away the kickoffs for a while now, and like this is
they're full on the punt. They're also fooling with a couple other ideas. One of them being that your gunners have to line up inside the numbers, You can only have one guy. Like defensively, you can only have one guy lined up on the gunner instead of like two over him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're not going to let the anybody on the punting team leave until the ball's kicked.
Okay. That one will be weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Just do the
Yeah,
XFL
that would
way
be weird.
for
Yeah.
kickoffs. I like
But
it.
they've also said they will. It's looking like they're not going to pass the review for roughing the passer. Not a shock on that one either.
No.
So
Disappointing, but yeah, I guess not shocking.
yeah.
Well, I mean, when you take the ball away,
And it
you
didn't
might
look
as well
like-
call that.
It didn't look like the tush push was addressed too much, really, like that.
I didn't see anything about the tush push.
Yeah, it looked like that.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
So-
didn't even really talk about it.
What happened with that is to get it passed, I think it's got to be a 2/3.
Yeah. I want to say.
And I don't know, I was listening to Florio talk about it, and he was saying like it had a lot of traction, but it didn't have the votes to get passed, so that it didn't even get brought up.
Makes sense.
All right. Weird.
And
All right.
apparently there was
heard a
some
lot
dealings
about it,
how,
but-
like if it were brought up for a vote, like it would have had people like drawing hard battle lines in the sand, and they really want to promote more conversation around it before anything's decided.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Usually that's kind of how these things work in the NFL. The
and,
rules
like,
aren't just
I'm-
changed.
As much as I'm still like for like getting rid of that rule, because I kind of agree that that's not football. Like that's just not where
We just need to see more.
that feels like going backwards to me. But like I'm also for, let's give defenses a season to figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a well-known thing now.
Yep.
A lot of teams are going to incorporate it. Everybody thought the Wildcat was going to change the league too.
Yeah.
You know?
But hey, guys, I think we did it.
I think, yeah, we probably did. Baseball. Oh, the
Man, congrats.
the
this is the
World
end of the
Classic. The World Classic was great, and it came down to Trout and Ohtani. That was perfect. Shohei and Mike Trout against each other. That was so cool. And Shohei, clinched it up.
Now they can
for
go play
Japan.
162 worthless games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good as that was, I don't think that got you one more baseball fan.
No.
That's not true. That was very good for baseball. That was very, very good for baseball.
It was, but
I hope that's perfect. That's exactly what baseball needs is get some people interested to this season where you've changed some rules, and hopefully you can keep them with that. I don't know if it's going to work necessarily. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it right now that was good for baseball. Let me say. Okay,
all those awesome stars you got to watch. You're gonna have to stay up till midnight to see those guys.
And subscribe.
Yeah.
You're right, but
Yeah, we can talk more about it next week.
yeah,
If we remember.
yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great week.
Fuck baseball.
Have a great week. Fuck baseball. We deliberately did this.
Florida Atlantic also.
Florida Atlantic. Woohoo! This part's actually gonna get cut.
Later,
This is gonna be
Florida.
out.